You've probably heard the promise of Web3, right? This whole idea of a decentralized internet that we actually own. But there's a huge wall standing in the way. For most people, it's just way too complicated. So today, we're going to talk about the powerful and honestly often overlooked tool that's building the bridge to a Web3 that's actually usable: experience design. All right, first up, let's just dig right into the fundamental problem, the thing that's really holding Web3 back. Because you've got this incredible promise of a whole new internet on one side, and then on the other, you've got the often really frustrating reality of actually trying to use it. So let me ask you this. Have you ever tried to use a crypto app and just felt completely, totally lost? I'm going to go out on a limb and say for a lot of you, the answer is a big yes, right? You get all excited about some new app, you download it, and like 5 minutes in, you're just drowning in weird jargon and confusing steps. If that's you, trust me, you are not alone. And this right here, this just captures that gap perfectly. The promise, it's huge. User ownership, decentralization, a whole new internet. But the reality for new users, it's confusing interfaces, crazy complex workflows, and just a ton of friction. It feels less like a cool new app and more like you're studying for a final exam. And that is the core problem we've got to solve. So the big question is, how do we fix this? What's the answer? Well, it's all about building a bridge that connects all that powerful, complex tech to everyday people. And that bridge, it's thoughtful, user-focused design. And the key thing to get here is that Web3 UX design, it's not just about making things look pretty. It's really about reducing what's called cognitive friction. You know, that mental energy you burn just trying to figure something out? Think about the anxiety you feel when you're double and triple checking one of those super long crypto addresses before you hit send. That's friction. Good design's job is to get rid of that feeling, to make the blockchain feel as simple and intuitive as, say, your favorite social media app. Yeah, and this quote really just hits the nail on the head. Effective design helps businesses turn complexity into usable, trusted experiences. It's all about that transformation, taking something that's super complex under the hood and turning it into something people can actually use, and maybe most importantly, trust. Because in this space, trust is absolutely everything. Okay, but I get it. Design can sound a little abstract, right? So let's get specific. What are we actually talking about here? What are designers really building to close this gap and make Web3 something anyone can use? Basically, designers are crafting every single point of contact you have with the Web3 world. We're talking about the crypto wallets on your phone, the dApps you interact with, those NFT marketplaces you browse, even the really complex DeFi platforms and the tools used to run DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. Think of them like online communities with a shared bank account. Okay, so let's just take a crypto wallet as an example. A good designer is obsessed with one thing: making sure you can send and receive your assets without making a really expensive mistake. Things like clear layouts, using simple language instead of jargon, thinking about security first, those are all design choices, and they all work together to build that crucial trust. And for dApps, or decentralized apps, the challenge is pretty similar. It's all about guiding you through actions that might feel a bit weird at first, right? Like connecting a wallet instead of just logging in with a password. Good design makes you feel secure and confident with every single click. And then there's DeFi, decentralized finance. Whoa, I mean, these platforms are just an absolute flood of data. Great design is what takes all those numbers, all those charts, and turns them into something you can actually look at, understand, and then use to make a decision. It's literally about turning complexity into clarity. Now, this kind of clarity, it doesn't just happen by magic. It's the result of a really deliberate, structured process. It's how you get from a rough idea scribbled on a napkin to a polished, easy-to-use product that people actually love. And this process, it's not just a boring checklist. It's a proven path to making things usable. It always starts with deep research. I mean, you have to understand what people actually need, what their pain points are. Then you build these simple blueprints. They're called wireframes. You get the flow right before you make it pretty. And maybe the most critical part of all, you test it with real users every step of the way. That way, you find and fix problems early, long before it ever goes live. You see, following a process like this, it builds a really solid foundation. It's what lets a product be simple and intuitive today, but also grow and add new features in the future without just collapsing into a confusing mess. It's about building to last. Okay, so we've talked about the problem and we've talked about the process. Now let's get to the really important part, the payoff. Why does all this stuff, investing in design, actually matter for the future of Web3? It's really like a powerful chain reaction. Think about it. A simpler design leads to people adopting it faster. A clear, secure interface builds user trust. And when people trust a platform and find it easy to use, they don't get frustrated and leave. They stick around. And that directly translates to real success and growth for the project. So here's the bottom line. In the world of Web3, good design isn't just some nice little feature you add at the end. It's not just decoration, it is a core driver of growth. It's a fundamental business strategy. Honestly, it's what separates the projects that just fizzle out from the ones that actually make it big and get mass adoption. And this really breaks it down perfectly. Good design directly fuels these three key things. It creates this amazing positive cycle, right? Better design leads to more trust from users. More trust leads to faster adoption. And faster adoption results in a healthier, growing ecosystem for everyone. It all feeds itself. And hey, if you need some hard proof, just look at this number, 99%. That's the client retention rate that design agencies focused on user-first Web3 products are reporting. I mean, that's staggering. It tells you everything you need to know. Once a project gets a taste of what great user-focused design can do, they absolutely do not go back. Because at the end of the day, this is the goal. It's all about designing Web3 experiences that people trust and want to adopt for the long haul. We need to build things that are so simple, so trustworthy, and so valuable that people don't just try them once, they stick around. That is how we're going to build a truly decentralized internet. So think about it. The groundbreaking technology for Web3, it's been around for years now, but it's been locked behind this huge wall of complexity. What we've seen today is that thoughtful design, that's the key. So the real question isn't if great design will be the key that finally unlocks Web3 for the world. The real question is, who's going to be the one to finally turn it and open that door for everyone?